Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Look, we got some nice music thanks to Russell Davis.
Yes.
Ooh. That we do own the rights to this music. Okay. It's not very often we can say that. Hey, everybody. It is Alexia, your Coco Mom Evolve. And we are tuning in for our first Coco Connect for the year. Like you said, Elle, we've been gone for a minute, but guess who's back?
Guess who's
back? Right. I love your wall behind you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so dope. I gotta get me one of those. Hey, everybody who is tuning in. It's Alexia, your Coco Mom Evolve. We got your proud mom. Just because I'm sure we got brand new followers and stuff. Introduce yourself for them, Elle.
I'm sorry. It's Blue Jay. Hi, everyone.
Hello, Blue Jay.
Is something going on without me? I was not happy.
No, I know it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
So how are you ladies doing for the new year? Talk about the new year, right? It's been a lot.
Are good. Somebody turned one. Say one. Say one. You're not okay.
Right. No, thank you.
She doesn't wanna participate right now. But yeah, the new year has been good. I came up off retirement and I'm nursing a little bit, a couple days a week. So that's.
I heard. Yeah, I heard you brought your talents to some much needed support in the community.
Yeah.
So it's great that you can do that. So how's your first week? Is this your first week, right?
Second week. It's
okay.
Good. It's not bad. I'm giving out the COVID vaccine, so
okay.
Got the juice, you know what I mean? But it's good. I'm really, really pleased with how many patients we've been having. Last week we were vaccinating like 1,000 people per day. Now we're down to like 800 a day.
Okay. Wow.
Like it's been a lot of people, a lot of brown people coming through. A lot of black and brown people, honey.
Okay. They say, listen, we want to get ourselves together. For those of you who may not know, Elle is a registered nurse.
Yeah.
Was doing labor and delivery this time?
I was doing labor and delivery for 4 years. Before this and some stuff before that, and a little season, been in the game a little over 10 years, so
We love it. And hi there, Miss Blue Jay, and our little 1-year-old. So, ladies, gents, and thank you so much for tuning in. We got a special guest with us tonight. You probably have seen her in the Coco community already moving about because she's been rocking out with us for a little while too. But before we do that, we have some announcements to make. So, we are now the artists formerly known as Coco Bump.
Right.
Okay. So we got a whole rebranding initiative that we're going through, but essentially the long and short of it is that we got so much visibility in the primary market, like against high top competitors in the market, that we saw an opportunity to rebrand ourselves, one, so that we're not confused with other brands, and so that we can show more of that community type environment. So we are now Cocolife.black. Yeah. So we are still Coco moms. We're still representing those beautiful Coco bellies and Coco bumps that you see. And our mission has not changed. We are still supporting moms, bump and beyond, pregnancy, postpartum, compassion. We are still looking to lift up women in our community, as well as dads and kids. In the spirit of that, we have Candice on with us, who we're going to bring on to join us with Eden Wellness Co. Hey, Candice.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me, guys. I'm so excited to be here.
Look, Blue's waving at you.
Oh, Blue. Hi, Boo.
It's a Blue Jay. So for those of you who are just tuning in, it is Alexia and Elle with the newly titled Cocolife.black. The website is up. You can still visit. You can still click on and search for cocobump.com. Will still come up. But we're going to be transitioning to our new site, Cocolife.black. We are super excited. It definitely represents, even to a higher level and a higher degree, what we're trying to do in the community. Again, same great mission, but we're just shifting a little to rebrand to make sure we don't get confused with any other persons out there. So, Candice, it's Wellness Wednesday. How are you?
I am wonderful. I'm wonderful. I'm so excited to be here and to be speaking with you, lovely, lovely ladies, and everybody else that is listening and tuning in tonight.
Well, so I know people at this time of night too, it's 7 o'clock. People have worked, whether outside the home or inside the home. They probably made dinner or about to make dinner or something. Folks is tired probably right about now. So share with us one about Eden Wellness Co. Like, how did you start it? Where did it birth from? Give us some insight into that.
So it started from I'm also a registered nurse. That's how me and Elle actually met. And I started doing nursing and I started getting back problems. So at that time I was 25 and I was like, I'm 25. I got to live with my back the rest of my life. I need to figure out a way to heal myself and maintain and not have back problems, because you only get one back. So that was the whole purpose. And I ended up taking some yoga classes at my local LA Fitness. And ever since then, it was a wrap from there. I kind of fell in love with the practice, and it just showed me how to breathe, how to work through difficult situations, how to work through challenging situations, and how to manage my stress. Being in nursing, especially last year, it was a very, 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 very stressful career to be in. So anytime I needed to, I would go to my mat, and it would just help me refocus and get back to what I needed to get done. So, it came about.
I mean, it's interesting that you say that, especially with last year. Oftentimes we don't expect, especially as women professionals, we don't take a lot of time for ourselves. We know, especially Black men, don't go to the doctors and things like that sometimes at all. So it is really important, I hear you saying, to have some practices. I guess my first question, for you would be, outside of those being the reasons why you started, in your work, do you see that similarly as reasons why people seek out, like yoga and practices like that?
Absolutely. It's mainly for stress relief. I feel like a lot of times people especially with last year, but just in general, the Western culture, we tend to hold a lot of our stress, and nobody has ever taught us how to manage it. Nobody ever tells us how to communicate it. And I'm like, at this point, I want to bring this into schools, because if you know how to effectively manage your stress and know how to effectively communicate and talk yourself down off of a ledge, it changes everything. And that was really my main focus. That was my main focus for starting Eden Wellness Co. Because I was like, I wanted to find a space. I'm the type of person in my spirituality where I want to find God in everything. And that was my whole purpose for naming it Eden Wellness Co. is because I want to create my heaven here on earth. I want to be able to seek out God through every single person that I meet. I want to be able to seek out God through everything that I come in contact with. And I know that there's situations where they're going to be difficult, and there's going to be times where you may not see the God in certain situations, but you have to change your mindset and change your mind frame to push yourself to seek that out. So that was my whole purpose for creating Wellness Co.
That just blessed my spirit right there. Like, I want to be able to find the God in everything, especially considering, Elle, I know you have some questions that you want to check into, but especially considering the I don't want to say stigma, but the considerations that normally come with yoga and meditation. Oftentimes, because of the language, and I know we to enlighten everyone. So Candice is also going to be facilitating our Coco Flex initiative as it relates to Cocolife. And so that was one of the things that's like, I wish we could find a word that represented what we're trying to do, because I think people get caught up on yoga. I know I did at first. And it's not that in the terms of how it was historically deemed. And I likened it to how now we celebrate Christmas, right? Like, it started as a pagan holiday, but we found a Christ in it, and we celebrating Jesus. So, kudos to you for that, and presenting it that way. Like, I wanted to be able to find the God, and so one way that you do that is through your meditation and your yoga practices to get centered that way.
And that's another thing that a lot of people don't realize, especially Black and brown people. A lot of people think, oh, well, yoga originated in India. No, it actually originated in Kemet. Like, yoga is a practice that our ancient relatives and ancestors have been using for years to heal themselves. And now we're just finally coming back around to realizing that these are practices we have gotten away from for years. Just like we went back to doing herbal medicine and going back into the natural remedies. We've been doing that for years. Like, our ancestors have been doing that for years. So it's just nice to finally bring awareness and to educate as many people as I can on this is something that we just lost touch with, and now we're finally bringing it back.
Okay.
Yeah. But I just wanted to give you guys a couple of tips, because I feel like a lot of times when you hear meditation and yoga and everybody is like, well, how do I even get started? Where do I begin? I barely got enough 5 minutes to go to the bathroom or do anything else, let alone take that time for myself to meditate and to refocus. What has helped me was, when I first started with meditation, is just be patient with yourself. Your mind is going to wander. That's normal. Like, you are literally doing mindset training to focus your mind and to say, listen, I'm shutting everything off. I am just going to concentrate on my breathing. And it's just something as simple as that. Just focusing on breathing in and breathing out. And you don't even realize, people think, oh, but that's not meditation. It is. Because you're training your mind to focus on just your breath. And that's so, so important. And let go of expectations. So don't have expectation. Like, sometimes people think it has to be this grandiose display where you have to be like floating or in like lotus pose or doing all these things. No, you can meditate in your bed. You can meditate in the shower. Meditation in the shower is one of my favorite things to do, especially after a stressful night at work. I will go take my shower, get my apple cider vinegar, gargle with my apple cider vinegar and salt water. That's my personal method of how I keep myself COVID free, but that's just not the point.
Right. What you say? I'm not saying.
Right.
That's what I do. It's better than what our former president suggested.
Listen, I'm telling you, because but just the healing power of being in the shower and that actual sound, there's actual frequencies that your body naturally, if you tune into them, it helps you create more ideas. That's why a lot of times if you take a long hot shower, you come up with all these ideas and you're like, wait, where are all these ideas coming from? It's because of the frequency that the shower water is creating. So that's that's a great time to do it. And it's like, that's a lot of times when most moms are alone, or when you have some alone time.
Yes.
It takes you 10-15 minutes to sit there and be like, I'm just going to focus on my breath, or I'm just going to listen to the waterfall in the shower.
So that's a good point. So I want you to just, for those who are tuning in, hey everybody, it is Cocolife.black, the artist formerly known as Coco Bump. We are doing some rebranding, and we are just kind of establishing ourselves in an even stronger way in the community. And we are here with Candice of Eden Wellness Co. Now, one of the things you just mentioned that I really want you to make sure that you reiterate, give that tip again, what you said about the shower and the frequency, and why meditation, even in the shower, is a perfectly acceptable time to get that in.
So, like I said, that's most of the time, that's a lot of times when we have alone time. even if it's just for 5 to 10 minutes, that the sound that the water makes coming from the shower is a sound frequency that your body naturally tunes into. And by tuning into that, you can use that as a source of meditation. So that's why a lot of times when you take a shower, you can get a lot of different ideas and they just naturally just come to you, is because you're naturally tuning into that frequency. So that's definitely a perfect time. If you can't find time during the day, that is the best time to do it, because it's just like when you go to the beach. You know how when you go to the beach, you just naturally relax?
The ocean waves.
Yeah, it's the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Don't mess around and get fancy. Put some essential oil drops.
Girl,
lavender and eucalyptus bunches.
Yeah,
I just made one. You know, since Elle and I connected too, let me tell you, my creative side is just my idea of creativity. People will tell you was like helping businesses coach and develop and stuff, and people be like, "That's work. That is not like, what are you doing?" So yes, take some eucalyptus and some lavender fresh, bundle it, and put it on the shower as the
steam. Yes, that is the perfect. Listen, my son be making fun of me all the time because he is like, it's like a sauna in here. I'm like, listen, get out of my way.
Right.
It's my time. Excuse you.
I like that. And for moms, you know, we were talking about this when we were backstage. For moms, we do say, you know, it's hard to find that time. And this is one more reason to even encourage moms to take that you time. Take that shower, put that baby in the crib. He or she, as long as they are safe, let them cry. It'll be okay.
They'll be okay. They will be okay. If they crying, they breathing. That's the way. That's the way.
My mom, she's a NICU nurse, so she knows. Someone who deals with babies' airways. She said it.
Listen, I'm telling you, because that's the thing. Like, I feel like a lot of times, as moms, we feel that mom guilt, like, oh God, I'm not being, and it's like, if you don't take that time to refill your cup, how can you help anybody else?
How about that?
You have to refill yourself in order so that way you can go and tackle everything that you need to tackle during the day. And it's like your cup, you're supposed to only give when your cup overflows. And if you are like giving from an empty cup, like, you're no use to anybody. You're not. So
there's a saying, and Pastor said it this past Sunday, Reverend Waller. He said it's an African proverb, I believe it is, but it says, "Be leery of the naked man who offers you his shirt." And essentially, it was like, you can't give what you don't have. So, if you are the type of person, mom, dad, auntie, whatever, if you're the type of person, you'd be like, "Oh, I give, and I just give and give," and then you feel yourself constantly feeling drained. Constantly feeling like you're about to lose your mind, constantly wondering why you can't see the forest for the trees or your steps or anything. It's probably, to what Candice said, you're overdoing it. You're not taking care of yourself. You are trying to pour from an empty cup. And that's not the design. That's not the design, especially not all the time. You know, we understand every now and again, but not all the time.
Exactly. And then another thing is that when I first started to meditate, even now, what I tend to do is do a miracle morning. That's something that's been really helping me as far as being a business owner and to make sure that I'm meeting my accomplishments for the day and everything like that. And when I wake up, the first thing I do is I thank God. I say 3 things that I'm thankful for right off the bat, even if it's just something as simple as I'm breathing. I opened up my eyes. And then I created a specific space in my house where I sit and I meditate, and I just focus on my breath, and I start there. And then sometimes I can go deeper, and then other times I can't, and that's okay. And it's like your mind will wander during meditation. That's normal. We all have that monkey mind where it's like, oh, I got to do this, and then I got to make breakfast, and then I got to get the kids up for school, and I got to do this and this and this,
and I got to meditate.
Exactly.
Like, oh my God, I got to meditate. That's what you're doing right now.
Yep, exactly. As long as once you notice yourself doing that and you say stop, I literally will in my head tell myself, Candice, stop, be quiet, and sit.
Hmm.
And that's it. And focus on your breath. And it's just as simple as that. Like, it doesn't have to be a big production. One of the I can't remember the name of that app, but there's tons and tons and tons of apps out there that can help you get started with guided meditation. I also do have a YouTube channel if you wanted some extra help with that. I put on a few meditations that I tend to like to do for myself when I first started out. I told you about the shower meditation. Oh,
Wait, before
okay.
you say that real quick, tell them where they can find your YouTube channel. Now, this is your Instagram at Eat Wellness Co, right?
Yep. And
Okay.
it's also, it should be at Eat and Wellness Co as well for
Okay.
YouTube as well. I tried to make everything the same because it's so confusing sometimes. Yeah.
Branding. Right.
No,
If
not, you can hit me up on Instagram and I can direct you to where you need to go.
I love that. I love that. Okay, keep going. Go ahead.
The main reasons why meditation is so beneficial for women, moms, dads, anybody in general is because it increases your focus, it increases your productivity, it reduces anxiety, it reduces depression, it lowers your blood pressure, it lowers your stress. It's so beneficial to take those moments for yourself, because you're right, we don't, a lot of times. I was listening to it, he was some I don't know how to, he was like some type of priest or something, like a monk, that's what he was. And he was just saying how we don't ever ask ourselves what exactly do we want out of life. We're so used to asking or having everybody else put those opinions and preconceived notions on what they expect from ourselves, but we never take that time to sit and ask ourselves, what do you want? And that's so simple. Even if you're doing meditation, ask yourself that while you're doing meditation, and then after, take a few minutes to journal what you came up with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just taking those times and taking that moment, it sets your day up for success. I promise you. And another thing I tend to do is that a lot of times it's like, oh, well, people think, oh, well, you meditate once a day, that's it, you're done. What I started doing was, for some reason, I don't know if it's I call it my angel numbers, but I see like 1111, 111 at certain times of the day. Yeah. And just a little background around me. My mom passed away when I was 6 years old. So that's one of the ways I feel her sending me signs to refocus and to connect back with her. So I will take those few moments whenever I see those numbers, and I'll just focus on my breath throughout the day. And it's like, you don't have to have a certain specific time, or you don't have to do it just in the morning or just at night. You do it when it's convenient for you. And taking those small moments throughout the day to refocus yourself, or just to focus on your breath, or to concentrate on something, it helps so much, because we deal with stress and triggers all day long.
Don't we?
All day long. And taking those few moments to just even count down from 10, that's a source of meditation.
Oh, yes.
Because listen, I don't know about you, especially with the snow coming, I'm counting down all the time. Right. Like, wait, would you get another snowstorm? Wait,
no. I had on a hoodie today. Got to have on a parka tomorrow. Oh, you made me think of something. So yes, Candice has her own YouTube channel. So make sure you tune in. Wonderful friend of the show, Lydia DeBrest Madison, who also is a daughter of a Heavenly Mother. And so she started this group on Facebook called Daughters of Heavenly Mothers. And so what you just shared, for anyone, whether you lost your mom, dad, whomever, spouse, the child, the list goes on and on. But the way you just positioned it as far as your angel numbers, and also leveraging meditation as a way to kind of, and we are not talking about seances and all of the stuff that does not speak. Again, we love God, we love Christ. Okay, so that's where we're coming from. But I do believe that God, as a gift, will give us the opportunity to still maintain those spiritual connections. So I love what you said about angel numbers. It's going to make me even more aware of what I see, because there are some things where I'll be like, oh, that's Omega. That ain't nobody but.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Where was I reading that somewhere? It said so another thing that, sorry to get a little bit off topic, but I tend to see feathers, and they say when feathers appear, your angels are near. That's literally like there's just so many different ways that you can.
Butterflies, feathers.
Yeah. And it's like, we don't have to necessarily I want them to be surrounding me and to uplifting me, because there's going to be times when I'm having a bad day and I don't know how I'm going to get through. And those certain signs and those help in pushing me further, it really helps. It really helps. So
I love that. Another app that I've used to help me in getting started before I connected with you even, and it's a Black owned app, is called Shine. And it is Black owned meditation app. They've been around for many, many years, but it's always interesting how sometimes our apps, now they are right up there with like Calm. And I know Soul Time is another one that I used to use because it was Christian based. So they would also kind of give you a scripture reference. But I like Shine, of course. But it also it'll give you a meditation. It'll guide you through. And it will also kind of give you like some sort of article reference or things. But I felt like it helped me even in listening to one of the meditations you did for us. It helped me to kind of be more focused. Like I'm going to use the term, for lack of a better term, fearful about going into meditation because I knew how to kind of channel it. And then when you did the one for us back in September, it was just really powerful. I was like, it was brief, but it gave me a tool to be able to. So like you said, I may start out the day, but if, whatever's going on in the day, when I have to recenter, refocus, and I know you ladies, again, because of your professions, know more than anyone, like the need to kind of pull it back in. It was just helpful. Yeah, it was very helpful. So I appreciate you for that.
Thank you. And
I think too, like sometimes, like one thing that I've started to do, because I can flip out very quickly. Sometimes depending on what's going on. Sometimes I turn to Erica from North Philly. It just happens. It comes out of me sometimes.
Hey.
And one thing that I have started doing is like just taking one cleansing deep breath. Like it's so helpful. Like something crazy happens and you just take and just let it out.
Yes.
It helps so much. So that's exactly what I started doing in December. It was a crazy month for me. And cussing everything out is what I was doing. You gotta get yourself together. You got this kid who gonna also be cussing people out if you don't get it together. And I was like, all right. So I started taking that cleansing deep breath when I begin to get frustrated or overwhelmed or just start to feel a lot of emotion. And it has really, really helped. So even for those who feel like, oh, I don't have 15 minutes to be sitting on the mat meditating, a cleansing deep breath will change your life. Literally, it would.
Absolutely. Yep.
That was a good point. That was a really good point. And actually a really good segue as we are starting, coming to the conclusion of our time right now, but not the end of our experience together. Because again, like we said, Candice is going to be leading. She has her initiative with Eating Wellness Co. I mean, she has you covered from CMOS and such to patients and mindfulness. You heard her say she's a mom, she's a nurse. So if you're like, she doesn't get it because I got this going on and that going on. Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
So she's very intentional about helping us to center mind, body, and spirit. So that we can, if we learned anything from COVID-19 impacting us last year and the way it impacted us and how we got to navigate going forward, you better have some tools. You better have some things that'll help you stay sane. We've seen an increase in suicide rates as a result of this. It's a great way for you to even share some space with your child. I know Camille and she falls asleep often, but sometimes I'll have her meditate.
Oh, that's so good though, because you're setting her up to be able to work through whenever she's dealing with a difficult situation. She'll remember that. She will remember that. That's so amazing.
Let's hope so, because child, she hot. Elle knows she's all the way up here strong. So the more I can grab her balloon string and pull her back down.
I think the analogy of the balloon string.
Right? I
You know how your balloon be like, come on. So that being said, those who are still tuned in, and even those who are watching this playback, Candice, would you mind taking us through like I'm gonna play some nice music, again, our music,
Yes.
that we kind of own the rights to, by Mr. Russell Davis. We're going to do a little guided meditation, like a little 1-minute meditation. So I'm going to start the music, and I'm going to mute myself so that everybody will only be able to hear you and not MJ screaming in the background. So here we go.
Okay, you can start off with either closing your eyes or keeping your eyes open. And then you're going to place a hand on your heart and on your stomach. Take a big breath in. And let it go. Breathe in. Let it go. Breathe in. Let it go. Just notice how your chest rises and falls with every inhale and exhale. And if your mind starts to wander, just bring it back to your breath. And then you can slowly open up your eyes. And release your hands down to your sides. And that's it. Just go back to your normal rate of breath. See, something so easy, so quick.
Yeah. I peeked for a minute to shift around the screens a little, but I was definitely there. So just something that simple is enough to, as Elle said, to grab you back, snatch you back, bring you back. And this is just another tool in your tool belt. We are here representing a population of women who are constantly being stretched and pulled. We are here representing a group of women who have the ability to be excellent in so many areas, except for when it comes to self-care sometimes. And so as your sisters, as your community, our Cocolife.black movement is all centered around your health and your wellness. So thank you so much to Candice from Eden Wellness Co. Again, remember, go check out her on Instagram at Eden Wellness Co. She's also that on YouTube. DM her, ask her questions, like get on the band with her, because I'm telling you, you will not regret prioritizing yourself. So,
thank you so much for having me. This is such a beautiful platform. I am so proud of both of you, and I'm so thankful to be a part.
Same here. We love you. We love you. I thank you so much, Elle, for making that connection. It's definitely been a blessing. And we're just excited about the way you're going to continue blessing us. Everybody, you don't want to stay with us this year. As you can see, we kicking off already. It's Black History Month. It is women on the heels of Women's History Month. And we are just going to make a difference in our community. So thanks again for tuning in. Be blessed, and we'll check y'all out next time. See ya.
Bye, guys.